By the way, in the title, I just saw that it was saying trends in US and Europe, and they forgot Asia, but that's
I told them to put Asia as well, but I think they didn't do it at the end. Sorry for that, but I'm sorry for that, Asia.
No worries, it's more for your audience. Can be modified after it.
Diego, empezamos cuando quieras. We start whenever you want, Diego.
Muy buenas nuevamente. Bueno, estuvo genial la primera mesa redonda. Vamos a dar paso a la segunda. Va a ser el moderador también en esta ocasión Juan Fuentes, creo que ya lo tenemos conectado. Y versará sobre un mapeado sobre el ecosistema y tendencias en Sportech, tanto en Estados Unidos, Asia y Europa. Así que, sin más dilación, Juan Fuentes, todo tuyo.
Gracias, Diego. Thank you very much. After the first panel where we put a focus on investment, now we are going in the second panel. We are going to put a focus on ecosystems. As the event tries to highlight, it's very important as well to bring ecosystems together. As an investor, I realized that over the years, different ecosystems has consolidated in different countries, in Spain, in Northern Europe, Central Europe, as well US, Asia, and I think it's important as well to connect them all together to help the startups to grow in capital, commercial opportunities, but also to give investors as well deal flow, the best quality deal flow from different regions, especially since we are focusing only in sports. So with that said, I'm having here now panelists as well that are experts from different ecosystems. And I would like to start with Edu Valdez, who works in Sport Boost, and they have been focusing for years already and in accelerating investments and investing themselves in different ventures. So Edu, if it's okay, the floor is yours. And please feel free in the next 10 minutes to share your project, and the floor is yours. Thank you again for joining us. Okay, I think Edu is having a technical problem. So, Jan, if you don't mind, then let's start with you. Jan from AC Sportech, and then we will go with Edu.
Yeah, no problem. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you well.
I can hear you now. Perfect.
Okay, Edu, do you want to go or you want to, as planned?
As you prefer, eh?
No, feel free. Feel free to go. You were supposed to be on the lineup, so I'm happy. I'll let you go. If not, your technical difficulty are solved.
Thank you, Jan. And sorry because we have been here 15 minutes and suddenly the sound disappeared. So just give me a sec. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Juan, and everyone in Galicia Sportech for inviting us one more year. It's a pleasure to be here today. In 10 minutes, I'm going to try to share as much as possible information about what we are doing here in Sportbus. So basically, just to give key point of what we do basically, well, we are a sports tech accelerator and co-investment platform founded by 3 years now by the ex-former player of Real Madrid, Iker Casillas. And we basically do three things. First, investment and co-investment. Secondly, acceleration. And third, innovation. So let's start with investment. I think it's one of the key things right now and main trends in sports. Basically, what I want to share with you is in a general idea of how we have created our investment thesis and what we are looking proactively in the market. So mainly the stage of the startups which we scout and analyze in the market, we put our eyes on are seed and Series A. Those companies which they have already a proof of concept tested in the market, they have a track record with annual growth, and they are already working with different kind of clients in the market. We like them to have a high retention of customers with a low churn, and we are looking for actively for international and obviously national projects. So just to give you an idea, and I will explain later, but we scout around 600 to 800 projects per year, which at the end of the year, we estimate that we invest in less than 1% of them. But just to have a general idea of how we try to check for companies with this sort of a scope. In terms of scouting, as we have here, we have developed our own strategy looking for three main different segments, which is the first one, activity and performance. Second one, management, all related with management and organization. And the third one is what we call fan engagement or fan and content. As I was mentioning before, we have scouted in these last 3 years less than 2,000 startups. Mainly, more than 60% are deal flow that it's international, and let's say that around 30% of the whole number of startups that we have analyzed are from Spain. Normally, we work proactively sharing deal flow with different VCs, venture capital, also with international hubs, as Jan with Asian Sportech, for example, that they belong to our network in Sportech, and also with other business angels such as Juan, which proactively we share different sort of project that probably fit on their investment thesis or in our investment thesis that I highlight before. Then till the date, we have invested around 1.2 million euros by ourselves with our own capital, and then around 2 million co-invested with other athletes and VCs in the sports tech, in the sport industry. So we have co-invest with Pau Gasol, for example, Kevin Durant, Rudy Fernandez, Xavi, Cesar Azpilicueta, and other athletes that they belong to this area. Also, till date, and we will see in a bit, we have invested on 10 projects, which, as you can see here, the portfolio, we don't have like unique segment or a unique technology where we put our eyes on. As I explained before, we try to part in 3 parts, the segments, and that takes probably most of the verticals in sports. So that means that we can invest in a Web3 technology that they are putting their eyes on in sports, and we support them on that task. or we invest also in technology which apply directly to the performance in sports, such as Cognia, for example, or Flyfoot with their drone technology. We have invested also, as you can see here, in health tech, which I will explain in a bit, a project that we have ongoing right now. But this niche is one particular that is really interesting for us, and we are trying to put our eyes on more and more. But also we have invested in management softwares, or a fantasy, for example, or social media platform. So as you can see here, we have like a wide range of different companies which apply totally different in each of them in different stages. Which is the program that we have ongoing right now? Well, it's an investment program that we launched last year in October with Wayra, the investment arm of Telefónica, and with Gasol 16 Ventures, that it's a quite similar funding vehicle as we are, led by the ex-former player of the NBA, Pau Gasol. And here we, like, just to give you three main topics. First, that we are looking for an investment of we are going to invest around 1 million euros through this program between the three parties. Then that the scope that we have in the market are just health, sport, and well-being. And what we are looking are for startups in those stages where we can support them on their business development in the North American market. So if they want to internationalize, putting their eyes on the American market, we are interested on analyzing this company. And also, obviously, we are providing to these companies not just money, not just business development in Europe and obviously in America, also the positioning in a sport ecosystem. As far as
sorry to tell you, but yeah, I think your deck is not moving. In case you're moving the slides, it's not
okay.
Now it's showing.
Yeah, well, just give me a sec, because probably what I'm going to do is change.
And it's not full screen. It's just
yeah. Just give me a sec. I'm going to do one thing. That I think you are going to see it in a bit. And sorry, because
now it's full screen.
You read me before. I was just sharing information with me. Sorry, guys. So can you see now what I'm explaining here?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't know. So yeah, I was in the last point mentioning that we support the companies which we invest through this program, also in all related with positioning themselves in the sport ecosystem. So we have this program open till the 10th of October of this year. So if you belong to this space, to health, sport, or well-being, more than glad to share with you the link where you can share your deck and be analyzed by the three parties. So that would be related with co-investment or investment, all the strategy that we have developed in the last year. Now, moving through acceleration, that's the way that we support our startups, because it's true that the first year of our activity, we launch our own accelerator program, but we changed a bit the strategy. So now we're just focused on provide these sort of services that you can see here just to the companies which we invest or we are in. Okay, so basically we provide 5 different things. First, mentoring through our own resources or commenting with other mentors that we have coming from the sports tech sector. We invite them to participate or support our startups. Then obviously funding, because if they are here with us in this process of acceleration, it's because we have invested on them before. Then network, as far as we try to connect with all our network in sport, not just from a commercial aspect, also with different active partners such as other international hubs or digital communities or whatever that they need. And if in case we have it on board here in Sportboost, we are more than happy to support them on that aspect. Then obviously the fourth point is commercial boost, that at the end is in the stage where we invest, the most important thing for our startups. So we support them on that process, connecting them with different clubs, brands, sport entities in general, which they might find a fit for them. And we try to do this sort of push for our startups. And then the last point, but also important, is the media resources. I mean, and that's mean try to give them a hand with all related with media exposure, participation on different events. As for example, tomorrow Cognia that will be there in the place, taking place in Galicia. Just to give an example of how we try to share with them information, invite them to participate with us or by themselves in different sports tech or sport events, etc. And then in what we call innovation, that here basically is how we are trying to lead this space, collaborating with all the different stakeholders in the sport industry. And that means that we do two main activities here. First, what we call open innovation challenges, more focused for brands, clubs, federation, etc., as we have worked in the past with them. And also working, developing innovation strategy more ad hoc, more one-to-one, based on their particular needs. So just to give you a practical example, and I will end my presentation here, is what we have done with La Liga, and we're still doing with them, supporting the innovation department on create different programs based on open innovation, trying to figure it out which kind of needs they might have, and we define what we can do. So in this case, just to give you some example, a practical example of what we did in the past. So first we define a challenge, a specific challenge. In that case was fan engagement. So we were trying to check in all around the market for the most stunning fan engagement solutions, which could provide them different kind of aspects. We scout the market and we select 121 projects to evaluate by ourselves and with them, coming from 24 different countries. We analyze and select between both teams 16 companies, that at the end we select 4 of them, and we made an event, physical event, inviting different brands, clubs, and partners from both parties to get information from the startups that we select. And at the end, we provide a pilot coming from one of the projects that we select in the process. So this is just an example of what we did in the past, what we are doing currently with different clients, the type of work that we do in innovation. And also here you have an example of the exposure and the importance that we provide on terms of media covering. So that's all from my side. I don't know if later you want me to go in deep for any other aspect, or do you have any question? I will be more than happy to answer about it.
Thank you, Edu, very interesting. I was wondering about the Journey Vehicle project with White and Gasol Ventures. Could you elaborate maybe more or less on your thesis? What kind of startups are you eager to invest? Is it in early stage, or any business model that you're particularly interested on?
Well, in terms of business model, we're quite open. We don't have a specific one, but probably we're looking more for, let's say, B2B2C. And regularly we are more actively looking for projects in a stage of, let's say, Series A, with a valuation around 20 million of euros. But it's essential for us two things. One, be a multidisciplinary company. That means that they not just have to have the focus on sports, and include or add other sectors as well, and have a track record in the back. I mean, have at least some revenue in the last months or years, to move them on, let's say, on our analysis process.
And it's cross-border as well. You don't mind the geography of the project?
It's international, so yeah, more than happy to receive proposals from any country. So yeah,
interesting.
I will share here later the link. So maybe there is any company which feel interested on sending their proposal. Yeah, that would be great.
And I'm wondering, I would like to ask your opinion, because it's very interesting that you have analyzed decks from all over the world, like completely diversified by geography. Yeah. What's your take, or do you see a lot of differences, of the way they do decks, entrepreneurs pitch ideas, from the US to Europe, Southern Europe, Northern Europe, Asia? Like, I don't know if you have any thought on that.
Yeah. Well, I think for me, this is really personal. I mean, probably if you talk with my analysis team, they think in another way. I don't know. We never asked before, but it's a really good question. In my case, I prefer, I think, the USA type of deck, where they are more normally, regularly, they are more focused on numbers and that sort of defend or argue that they are doing really well in terms of numbers, sharing their business cases or success cases, etc. That for me at the end is the most important as an investor. And I think in comparison with Europe or probably Asia, I see more like giving a lot of importance to the conceptual idea and what they are doing and how they can scale. But I cannot see really well how they are performing today. I mean, in terms of number, I don't know if, Juan, you are also a business angel, and I think you have seen as well a lot of decks. So I don't know. What do you think about it?
I totally agree. When I analyze decks from the US, I think they are more complete. They give you maybe access to data rooms, since the very beginning, so you can do your due diligence on a faster way or in a more efficient way. Whereas in Europe in general, when I see decks here, they don't give you these, these tools that since the very beginning you can just go there and you do your due diligence since minute number one. Here is more other kind of thoughts and concepts, as you said before. Totally agree. But,
absolutely. And I don't know if it's because maybe since the beginning they are, well, obviously there are more funds which they focus on pre-seed, and since the beginning they are with this mindset of, okay, I have to perform as best as possible, and I have to organize really well my content and doing it in a structured way, right? That I can see that, as you have mentioned, with the data rooms that they share in a really well position and are really well organized. That is really clear to see everything in a one place. Well, I know it's like if they would have like more expertise. I don't know.
I also believe this. This could be even an opportunity as well. To see how we can transfer this know-how of like starting doing a pitch deck properly. With maybe the American way, which to me is more advanced or as investor friendly at least, to the European startups. I thought of it a couple of times because I don't see this, level maybe in Europe so far. Interesting.
Agree with that.
If you have any link, please feel free to share it later. Now we're gonna jump with Jean-Baptiste. He's in Asia, based in Hong Kong, and he's the founder of Galicia Sportech. Thank you very much, Jan, for joining us today, and looking forward to hear as well your perspectives in the Asian markets and as well AC Sportech. So thank you very much, Jan, and please, the floor is yours.
Juan, thanks a lot for the invite, and thanks everyone listening today at the Galicia Sportech Congress. You do a great presentation, and glad to have you as a partner as well, and in building this global ecosystem together. So I will share a few words about AST, about what we do, about Asia. So usually the complexity of having 10 minutes to talk about 4 billion people market is very short, especially depending on the knowledge and the audience about the region. But I will start and share some information now about who we are, what we do, and hopefully looking forward to hear some more questions. Wanted to make sure, can you see it full screen right now?
No, we can see now we can see the presentation mode for you, for the speaker.
Okay, that's an issue. Let me fix that. I don't know why. Is it better now? Okay, it's not shared now.
Yeah, right.
Can you see it now?
Now it's full screen, yes.
All right, and are the slides moving?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're set to go. So, hi everyone. So thanks again for for welcoming me. So I would like to give you a brief, introduction about AST. So Asia Sportech. So we're based in Asia right now with 4 offices around the region, across Hong Kong, Singapore, Shenzhen, and Taiwan. But the reason I started AST was my background. I've been in Asia for more than 15 years right now. I spent more than 10 years in strategic advisory and private equity by supporting European companies originally entering Asia markets by looking for strategic partners, JV partners, and investment, of course, to tap in Asian growth. And then I moved on to the private equity side, working for a European family office, looking at global investments, but I had an opportunity to scale in Asia, but as well investing in Asia companies, in consumer-driven companies to focus on Asia future consumer demand. And then over time, we had a growing number of investment in entertainment and media. And then in the back of that, I left to create AST, which more than 5 years ago, which today we are leading advisors in sports, esports, and health and well-being in Asia. And our mission is to transform and empower sport, esports, and well-being ecosystem for Asia 4 billion consumers, 4.5 billion consumers, leveraging through breakthrough IP and technology. So what that means is this ecosystem is completely quite different, very diverse, and quite different than the rest of the world. In some instances, very, very primary. But as you know, Asia loves to leapfrog. Asia didn't go through DVD. They went from tape to streaming. Asia went through, didn't have landline. Many countries, they went from nothing to mobile. Asia usually leapfrog technologies. And I think around sports, health and wellness, and media tech, we started to see this right now. And considering the size of those markets as well, it's a market, I think, more and more interesting for various reasons to look at from a consumer side. And of course, because the market is evolving, there is a lot of creation of local talents in the back of that. And AST was created for that. When it was created, was to leverage on the growth trends. And I gave you here a few numbers because I don't know how much time and things you know about the region, but right now, a global recreation market, APAC represent 40% of it. it's about 400 billion physical economy market. In terms of the sporting goods market, is about 10% for the region, forecasted for the next 5 years versus 5% globally. So, and just to give you a bit of idea, I'm very macroeconomic in the view of the way I work for my clients and the way I invest. There are three basic macroeconomic markets that are supporting this growth, that are the very strong public sector supports that give you very long plan return that you can read black and white, you can follow and support that with support to investment theory and decisions. There is a lot of shift in new consumer preferences that are much more focused on sports and health, and of course, very digital and gamified. And then there is a lot of, and the last part is, of course, a love for tech and equipment that we see through the forecast and numbers. So this was few additional numbers to give you about the Shala market, to give you some idea of the share of the markets that are 15 million of monthly active users just for fitness activity on Douyin. Douyin is TikTok in China. So, and more than 2 billion video views on fitness platform or TV in 1 month of live broadcasting. So it gives you an idea of the scale of those platforms. So we have built 4 pillars across our consulting companies to accelerate business and their operation in Asia. So the 4 pillars are across market entry, growth, and execution. The second is financial advisory and investment. The third one is supply chain innovation, and the fourth one is ESG and purpose. And across that, we work with sports tech companies, investors, sports and esports organization, and corporations. So we really build a full service agency to really de-risk that across the region. So across our company, we have more than 100 years of combat experience and network in this space across commercial and financial in Asia sports, esports, and the health and the wellness industries. We have very strong knowledge across all those markets. We have very strong, very large ecosystem, and to support those companies. And the last part is we have a large footprint across various geographies. So right now, of course, with our 4 main offices, and right now those are the current places where we have projects ongoing. So as you can see, the region is quite large, may be complex, is very complex. I have the chance to be able to touch with all these countries every week and travel to many of them. So allow me to travel across those markets. And we also built a very interesting events that is our proprietary events. And I hope to have you guys coming over in the future. So once a year event that is by invitation only, where we bring all the leaders of Asia sports to try to create the future of Asia sports ecosystems together and align with thought leaders from governments, investments, companies. So our work is stretched across the 3 verticals I mentioned, that are around sports, esports, and sports tech, as I mentioned here. So you can see a lot of household names that you have seen it. We have helped them across market entry strategies, growth and execution, financial advisory, and ESG and purpose strategies. So yeah, we have been operating for quite a while. And so we have from the consulting side, but in the back of that, there is no number of case studies I could pass on for people that were looking at, try to understand how could they take on these markets and where are the growth and benefits. And I'm happy to share that in more details later on about how we help support, for example, this company, Kinomap, that is the world's largest geolocated video sharing platforms. We started by understanding the markets, understanding the legal, understanding the size, deep dive on opportunities across markets, and then moved on to B2B collaboration, And then in the back of that, we need to find JV partners and investment partners for them in dedicated market, to accelerate their growth. And now they have deal with Panasonic, with Sony, with Jio in India. And in the back of that, it gave them a very large scale, and they become the sole sports tech company partner of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And they're actually organizing this year, and you can register online and it's free, be part of the world's largest virtual marathon for the Paris Olympic 2024 Games. So Asia delivers scales and can allow you to actually go into new perspectives as well, because we have a lot of consumers. And the markets are not sometimes as complex to decipher. Of course, for me, sometimes is easier to work here than in other markets, because this is what I've been doing for more than 15 years. I'll pass on a lot of sports tech companies we have helped, from the fan engagement before, to the tracking companies, to digital and virtual sports tourism content companies, to footwear apparel dedicated to female brands that we support into strategic growth into some Asia market that are very strong women football market, and as well supply chain. We have strong partner, strong work in esports, as I mentioned, and then one of the team we help is called Talent Esports, that now have 7 teams across esports market, and have a strong strategic partnership with PSG, which is the only team that goes to the Worlds of League of Legends with a supported part of a football team. So at the MSI every year, the only sports team logo there is PSG, which has helped dramatically increase their fandom in Asia as a brand, which was very interesting deals. And then move on to other more fitness type of events that we've focused on. Recently, we have supported the growth of High Rocks in APAC, which we moved from 1 event 18 months ago to 16 events this year, opening 6 countries within the last 18 months. So very fast acceleration of High Rocks globally, but we have been happy to be part of the success of High Rocks in Asia as well. So all those, as you can see, deliver platforms, and we work with clubs and so on and so forth. But what the last 2 things I would like to focus on in the interest of time, because I'm already 12 minutes now, is some trends in Asia sports tech. Because we look at companies to help accelerate, grow, and invest, of course, or plug within those ecosystems that we know that are looking for clients and customers. And usually one of the first steps people say, please find me clients. Second, find me money. Money, we do put some together, but sometimes if we can put money from as well collectively Asian investors, we do need Asia traction. And this is where we help kickstart. Because if some people say we want money, but then we need customer, but we need money. It's the catch-22 phase. We are kind of the bridge to help that. We give confidence to both parties to bring that together. And in your business plan today, your business is valued X. We believe that adding the Asia lines will make you 2X, 3X, 4X. So a lot of business have potential. In some categories, of course, we don't look at all, to be fair, like betting is a category we are not looking at, because Asia is very complex, it's very controlled. However, we focus on a few areas. We have a very strong focus on anything that is focused on youth or senior, because there is a lot of investment in these spaces, everything from coaching, education, data, hardware. We love hardware as well in Asia. We are not against hardware. Like I know sometimes in Europe, it's very, a lot of investors don't want to touch, but we make all the hardware. So for us, it's okay. We don't think there is any risk there because we manufacture and we have supply chain department. AI automation, of course, are companies we are looking at across any sectors. Stadiums and infrastructures. Asia is now at a phase where there is a lot of project building up. To give you an idea, right now in Japan, there is more than 30 sports infrastructure in progress getting built, and they are all looking for stadium tech technologies. So it's just Japan, and the rest of Asia has a lot to offer in that. Fan engagement, of course, we need to localize, specify, but as we said as was mentioned and discussed on the previous panel, there is a lot of interest in reaching those 4 billion Asian fans and how to do it, how to engage them, and how to monetize them. And this is, let's say, the golden goose and the dream. But I believe now we're getting closer and closer and there's still room to grab that. And of course, data. Asia very data driven, and I think this is a global trend, but a very strong focus in Asia. So what we are looking for, and I'll conclude with that, we are looking for, in terms of whether companies to support in growth and or investments, and usually comes together at some points, depending on the life cycle of the time we meet. Asia now this is like the two things. Yeah, Asia growth is really now propelled by a confluence of dynamic trends shaping the economic and social landscapes, and some are sedentarity, aging society, more free time, of course, new of engaging, a fast-growing affluent middle class that you need to catch on the rise, new consumer habit, very strong focus on development of local service economy. So what companies can be built to develop local GDP, and other market and product. Then what we focus on the most, what we look at the most is companies that have can focus on the upcoming potential generation of Asian consumers. And we believe those lie at the intersection of what I call sport, lifestyle, and gaming. And the reason of those is why sports is, of course, new sports, new technology, new platform to target those new audiences. Lifestyle, because we see an upcoming new generation that really places in premium quality of life, presenting a lot of opportunities in the wellness and commerce space. And then the third part is gaming. And as gaming now, and gaming culture forms the, interactive entertainment for today's young adults, and it exerts global influence while Asia is the world's largest gaming market. So global gaming culture is transcendental. In Asia, is present everywhere, and we can see is spreading the world and around the world. And of course, especially now in the below 25 to the below 20, everyone is fan of gaming, and so we believe that a lot of product and new fandom, new technology will come out of this ecosystem as well. That's all for me.
Thank you, Jan. Very interesting as well, thoughts coming from Asia. I was wondering, because you share that, geographically you have presence or projects in different countries across the region. Which countries do you see more potential, more eagerness, more entrepreneurs coming from? Because, there is fragmentation in Asia, but I don't know, like, where do you see there is more happening?
That's a very difficult question.
You don't need to answer if you don't want.
Because personally, I mean, this is like almost vulgar to just talk for 1 minute about Asia when I could I could give you a day, I could give you a week on each country specifically. This is what I do. So I mean, usually we like to split it into three. There is North Asia, so which is Korea, Japan. There is China. Then in the fourth, then we have South Asia, Southeast Asia, and then we have India. So each of them honestly have very strong growth opportunities, but for very different kind of things, very different kind of topics, a very different kind of product. It's not one size fits all, to be very fair, but there is very, as I was mentioning earlier, in Japan, there is 25 stadium infrastructure under progress. So there is a lot of demand on stadium tech at the moment, and aging related. China is super focused on youth sports, youth development, youth health, and such, and so on and so forth. And in Southeast Asia, same, but almost across everything, even if GDP, of course, lower, is lower, GDP per capita, but everything digital focused with a strong gaming culture and lifestyle, social, is what they want. Less, however, if I would say across those markets, one thing that is less of interest at the moment is pure performance.
Makes sense. Interesting. It's also very interesting, that you build this Asia Sportech, because I don't think in Europe, Edu, correct me if I am wrong, we have something such as Europe Sportech, and Europe is a market of less than 1 billion, but you managed, like to put a wider focus in a region of 4 billion people, which of course makes sense that it's hard, like to map everything and to try to tackle everything. But
it's hard, but it's the fun part,
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't have tackled this when I started here after more than 10 years working across all those countries, because I had a chance as well to work across those countries.
Yeah,
I mean, the company, we have partners, we have staff in every of those countries. Internally, we speak about within the company more than 12 languages. So it's very diverse. But it's very fun, and I think that's why we can help decipher and support as well. I mean, I just come back from Japan. I'm going next week to Korea. I go to China later in the week. So it's very transient. We move countries 2-3 times a week, and it's very normal. To do that here. Infrastructures as well allow it. To be fair, I'm 35 minutes. From my office to the airport, it takes me to the door of the plane is 45 minutes. So it's okay to do it, But and as well the speed and the interest of regional play. But now what I see, and that's why the interest it needs to accelerate, because from European companies, for me not to lose. As a European, I love to support European companies as much as I can. As you can see in my list of companies, I love to support a lot of Spanish companies, as many as I could, to support in gaining market share. Because we see a lot of intra-Asia. Now the growth is, for example, Korean and Japanese investing a lot in Southeast Asia because they know the growth is there. This is the fastest growing region in the world. And they know the market share have to be taken now. Otherwise, after it's too late, it will be too expensive. However, there is room for European companies to take market share. But sometimes it requires a little bit of education. And interestingly, I would say on that is like a lot of our clients, usually they have for some reason sometimes touched Asia, whether they worked, whether they had clients there, whether they saw it, whether they traveled for passion, or it comes from different angles. If you have never, ever been, of course, you're like, why should I go? But if you come, for me, if you come and step one foot here, you will understand much better what I'm talking about.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you for your thoughts. And I just would like to raise a question to you and to Edu as well. Because during my investment career, after doing some investments cross-border as well, the US, Europe, and so on, I realized that we are not strongly interconnected between, let's say, ecosystems or hubs. You might agree or disagree. This is one thing. But I don't know if you put focus, Jan, and also Edu. Edu, I know that you just opened an office in the US as well. So how relevant for you is as well to interconnect and to try to generate this, let's say, global synergies with other hubs or ecosystems across the world? And how much effort do you put on this nowadays, both Edu and Jan?
Well, Juan, thank you. But first, let me just add something about what Jan was saying, because I really like the last answer and how he was explaining all about the Asian context and how it works the market. I think here I talk from our perspective, okay, again, and that's why I want to get this debate with you as well, because what I've seen is that in general, here, for example, our startups in our portfolio, just to have a clear example, that mainly they are looking for connect strongly with business opportunities in Europe and in America. Why? Because, well, actually, we have that context. We understand well the markets, or we have those supports, and we can get information for them. And also they have the tools to connect with those markets, understand what is going there, and see if there is a potential opportunity for them to open that market. Okay, but what I think, or at least is what I feel, is that with Asia we have here, at least us, let's say, an issue, because we don't understand really well the context. We don't really understand really well where we can go proactively to attack that market. Why should we go to South Asia instead of North Asia? Well, after this conversation with Jan, I really opened my eyes. But I think I don't know if it's my problem, our problem, that we don't get that information, or that from Asia doesn't come that information.
I think it's both. I think Asia is usually very, very bad at doing PR about themselves. If there is one thing they are not good in this, they are very good at working. They are very good at working hard, innovating, delivering, working fast. But PR, it's very poor. With AST, I recommend, to read and follow me on LinkedIn, what I write, and our company newsletter, because that's what we do. We spend all our time in trying to educate about the opportunities. We only write. There is so much research, so much learnings. You can go on our site and read our insights, AST insights about it. This is what we try to do, because we know it's complex and it's changing so fast as well. That's the thing. Even for us, we could flood everyone with like country updates, but we know it's going to be too much. So as well, and we don't know how much people have time for. So usually we need to start. As I said, a lot of our clients, for some reason, they had touch in Asia, so a little bit of knowledge. And that's why they are very excited, because they know, they tried before, but they failed. So they struggle. Interestingly, we get a lot of business as well that have, let's say, sourcing side, because the people who sourcing, at some point they touch Asia. so all those people, at some point they come to us and they're like, okay, how can you help? That's why in the businesses, originally sourcing and supply was not part of our company, but we added it because we got so much demand. And a lot of our clients come from introduction from investors and investment fund, because that's my background. So usually they say, I have a problem here, or I have a problem with supply, or I have a problem with growth, or find me co-investors. And that's how we lead that. But we do need to educate better. I love to find ways to do that better. We should bring a Galicia a delegation to different countries in Asia and do tours. You will be surprised of how welcoming governments, universities, and investors would be about this. They are very open about cross-pollinating, and they are looking for global opportunities as well. Right now, for example, I'm working with a lot of Korean investors. I'm not sure, if I mention that, you may say, Korean, this looks far away place. But actually, it's one of the top economy in the world, one of the highest performing economy in the world, most digital connected economy in the world, one of the biggest entertainment global market with the BTS and so forth. And right now, Korean investors have been super successful, but they are looking for deal flows because they are very insulated as well. So they are looking for new companies. And they may have, and we can build maybe cool cross-border synergies. I believe so. I am trying to build a bridge between Europe and Asia as much as I can. So I love you guys' support and any ideas.
Yeah,
that
I
could
think
be
there
great.
is a challenge. Sorry, Edu, go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm saying that I really agree with Jan, and that's we're also, we have a partnership with them, an alliance in Asia, and that's why, and it was the main reason what we were analyzing the market, because we are doing the same here in Europe, try to be that bridge for our startups or our network with other continents or other markets where we have contacts or we have that sort of know-how, right? So yeah, but we are still having that sort of lack in Asia. So yeah, Jan, we have to recatch after the call and try to keep working harder that, because I think
we need to do it
a lot. Yeah, sure. Huge opportunities in Asia, and we still have a lot of things to do here in Europe to understand better the context, where to go, where are the opportunities, and how to work in the field, right? So yeah, thanks, Jan, for your presentation.
Very
Really enjoyed it.
insightful. Yes, we were supposed as well to have from the US, but something urgent happened and they couldn't join us. But yeah, the end game of these panels is, to fight against this fragmentation and sometimes maybe lack of education between different regions, and also investment opportunities, which I think that's why Galicia Sportech was born, and many other events that we usually attend. But with that said, it's been a real pleasure to have you both on board. I was really as well learning a lot from your different projects, even though I also know you. But it's really interesting always to hear your updates and also to see it, in a presentation which is more educational. One of the topics that we also raised. So thank you very much again, Jan and Edu, and I hope you're having a great day. And thank you for joining again.
Thank you, Juan.
Thank you, Jan.
Great to talk to you, Edu, and thanks everyone for listening.
Bye-bye.
Everyone.
Bye.